Hello weirdos, welcome to Sable Flare. Today I want to talk about interesting makeup releases. They may be new-ish, they may be new, mostly not posh brands, mostly not complexion products, just stuff that's interesting to me because I would like to hang out and talk about something inconsequential and fun like makeup. It's tough out there, y'all. Right now, I'm finishing up a feature documentary for someone else. Really awesome project. If anyone needs an editor, or if you're in Oregon, a videographer, and I do weddings, just hit me up. I'm looking at the Electrum Cosmetics Dark Winter palette. They put out about a palette a year, maybe, so I don't feel like the season is particularly important. It's more the vibe. It's dark winter vibes. Okay, and these colors are gorgeous. I said I wouldn't try another Electrum Cosmetics palette unless I heard that their mattes had vastly improved, and I stand by that, so let me know, please. If their mattes have vastly improved, I want to know, because their shimmers are outstanding. Electrum Cosmetics Dark Winter palette, tempting, if only the mattes were functional. The first one with the trendy color story of the year so far is Terra Moons. Not gonna try and pronounce this because I don't know and my glasses are off. So I'm a lover of greens. So when I see a color story like this, my initial response is, ooh, tempting. And then I realize how not really green it is. And it's less tempting. So next we have a C beauty brand that I've never even heard of before called Charm Very, and their Savage Growth palette. On first glance, loved the look of this. So tempting at first, and then I realized I mostly just wanted this bright green shimmer. The color story doesn't really make sense to me. I guess this would work if you're just throwing one matte in the crease and doing some things with shimmers, but that's not really how I work, so therefore not tempting. I prefer at least 5 colors in my look. So these Dramo lipsticks look amazing. I already have the shade Moss. It's comfortable, really nice color. These are so bold and nifty. Now I want all the colors. Will I get them? Probably not. Next we have the Blight Moon palette with too many collaborators. Hang on. I'd heard of Ghoul in Japan, Sea Beauty Mall, obviously, but I hadn't heard of Noiricorn before. On first glance, very tempting. Here's an unconventional pairing of green and red. Yes, please. We've got these stunning lime greens and these more muted maroon reds. Just fantastic looking. No beige, very tempting. I had stepped away from Give Me Glow because they were not paying some of their influencers as much as others. If anyone knows what's happened with that, please let me know. I'm very curious. I did see that they came out with cream blushes in an amazing shade range. So that's tempting. Look at the shade range of these cream blushes. You've got your warm side and your cool side, and there's just so many options. It looks like a lot of fun. I have a couple powder blushes from them from way back, and they are indeed very powdery, and I'm not too fond of them. So I am curious to see what they do with a cream formula, because that is my preference these days. Give Me Glow, please let me know that you have your act together now. Quite tempting on these cream blushes. While on the topic of Give Me Glow, I noticed that they remixed their Juicy Olive palette, which is one of my long-standing favorites. Love me some warm greens. I really like that they added more shades and made the pans smaller, like they've been doing. And it looks interesting, very tempting. Yet another remixed palette. Clarity Cosmetics has come out with a new version of their Cobra palette. I do own the original of this, and one of the shades has literally turned to dust and exploded. It's nice to see a new option with smaller pans and more colors. Love this color story. It's nice and bold, lovely greens and teal. Absolutely here for it, totally tempting. Our other trend this year so far is mermaid theme palettes. Have we ever gone very long without a mermaid theme palette? I think not. The first of our mermaid themed palettes this year is Bella Beauty Bar's Ocean Jewel. Stunning color story, love these purples and dark blues, and as usual, I'm super into the bold colors and really not into the light, cool blues. Not into the sky and powder blues. No thank you. I know, it's an ocean themed palette, it's not out of place. I'm not saying it's wrong, it's just not for me. So it's almost tempting, but just not quite. Second mermaid themed palette for this year from Blend Bunny is Beauty Below. Really fun color story at first glance, tempting, nice variety of tones. And then I kind of realized that it's doing that Blend Bunny thing where it's kind of a rainbow palette. It's not a rainbow palette, strictly speaking. It is totally in theme, it is gorgeous, and it's just not quite what I want. Maybe I don't want these neutral tones. I want a little bit of an expansion of the purple, pink, and teal. I know, blues on theme. I know, it's not wrong. I just don't want it. So, tempting at first glance, but a little rainbowy, not really my vibe. Third mermaid themed palette from Gourmand Girls, Call of the Sirens. At first glance, tempting. Love these purple, teal, bold tones. On second glance, I don't need these like neutral and gold shades. I don't know. So it feels a little bit more like treasure chest, I guess, than mermaid, really. I don't know. It's not like mermaid because it's Call of the Sirens. Do the sirens have treasure chests? Because, I don't know. I'm just not feeling the neutrals and the yellow gold right now, personally. Not tempting. The Grounded palette by Glaminatrix does have some really nice looking tones. They are things I already own in other palettes, and I'm really not a fan of yellow, and there's too much yellow, so I'm gonna pass on this one. Easily not tempting, but nice looking all the same. Shall We Makeup and Freya86 have come out with a Punky Bunny palette. I've noticed with Sea Beauty that it's more challenging to find swatches on deeper skin tones. I do attempt to get a variety of skin tones in the swatch photos for all these palettes, so if you don't see that, it means I couldn't find it. That said, what a fun color story. We've seen this color story before. It's just very goth. We've got the black and red. Are these two blacks? Yes. One is a flat matte black and the other is a sparkle matte. No one likes sparkle mattes. Sparkle mattes are the new press glitter. Most places have listened and stopped putting press glitters in their palettes. Now we've got sparkle mattes. The sparkles just rub away pretty much as you're putting it on. So what is the point? I don't understand. Please stop making sparkle mattes. Instead of this sparkle matte black, we could have some other variety of red in here. I like the cooler tones in here for contrast. That's rather nice. Ultimately not tempting, but Punky Bunny is still very cute. Sinful Echoes came out with these Hex Chew cheek products. I was really excited to see the range, and it just looks like a lot of orange and pink. Maybe I'm wrong about that because I was unable to find really good swatch photos. Maybe we'll get some more swatches in a variety of skin tones and lighting situations. But at this moment, not tempting. Trendy color story of the year that is not a mermaid palette number 2 is Bella Beauty Bar's Green Goddess palette. At first glance, I'm excited, it's tempting. Greens with like a peachy shade in there for contrast, very cool. And then I notice there's barely any green. It's not a bad looking color story. I think it's mostly just my disappointment that it is not green. I didn't need it to be monochromatic, certainly not. Half green for a Green Goddess palette does not seem unreasonable to me. So maybe I'm just being persnickety, but this one is not tempting. Davini's Mingo palette is a lot of pink. I do like the pink-green combination. We didn't quite need all these pinks. There's one deep shade and not even like a burgundy or something for the pinks. I don't understand. Davini's Mingo palette worth looking at? and not tempting to me. Singe Beauty's Agate Temptation palette looks really fun. I will say the warm oranges, quite nice. The warm greens, also very nice. It just turns into like a half and half situation, where like I'm interested in only half the palette, therefore not tempting. Bella Beauty Bar remixed their Smoky Glam palette. I didn't have the original. I can see maybe 3 tones in here I'm super into that look unique, and the rest I could pass on because I'm frankly not interested in mauve and grayish purple. Give me some good berry, burgundy something, but not these kind of washed out gray mauves. Tempting on first glance, but ultimately not tempting. Glamlight has fallen into the IP pit of hell. Well, that may be dramatic. The Team Edward palette looks initially to be tempting because it has these nice, deep, bold tones that go together in like a gothy kind of way that Glamlight used to be really good at. And then on closer inspection, even the professional swatches that the brand themselves put out just look not great. I know people will not be pleased with the lack of midtones. They're just like really, really pale and really, really dark. But sometimes that's fun. The contrast is fun. I like doing really dramatic looks on occasion. So I would be totally tempted by this palette if it just didn't look like the kind of crummy Glamlight formula that we've been getting. What, no cat today? No cat interjection. Thank you for hanging out with me for interesting makeup releases. I really appreciate it. I hope you all be safe out there during this time of scariness and uncertainty. So please be safe, and I'll see you next time.